Well, these past 3 years, we've had to adapt, innovate, and pivot our youth exchange program by adding virtual components, and we learned so much in that process. We learned that virtual exchanges are lowering barriers for interested participants and creating greater opportunities for those with time, health, financial, or other considerations. All of this is exciting because youth exchange is so important. While engaging in meaningful dialogue and undertaking experiences with people from different parts of the world expands our global awareness and understanding and grows our intercultural competencies. Youth exchange equips participants with essential tools and frameworks for productive dialogue and can even lay the foundation for peace building. To talk about Rotary friendship exchanges in a virtual setting, we're going to welcome District Governor-nominee Montse, who will be speaking in Spanish, and past District Governor Kenneth Wong, who will be speaking in English, to discuss how their districts have been led in virtual Rotary friendship exchanges in the past couple of years. Welcome, and thank you for joining us. President-elect Gordon encourages every district to incorporate our learnings from the past few years and evolve our exchanges to incorporate virtual components in 2022-23, but 2023, 2024, and beyond. What are 2 steps that districts can take to begin planning for virtual exchanges in the year ahead? Kenneth, can we start with you?
Yes, thank you, John. Hello, Montse. District Governor-elects, ladies and gentlemen, it is a greeting from Rotary District 3450, and it's a real pleasure and honor for me to be at the International Assembly virtually. I think President-elect Gordon is spot on. As we know, Rotary International is the largest international organization in the world, and its enormous ability to do good or to create hope in the world comes from the global networks of Rotary clubs and their members. Rotary can certainly do more if Rotarians are able to connect more effortlessly and purposefully. I think this is the reason why Rotary International has been undertaking many global exchanges programs for decades. Now, although Rotary exchange activity have been hampered by COVID pandemic in the past few years, it invigorates Rotarians to come up with creative ideas for better and more effective means to connect. Now, regarding the 2 key steps to start virtual exchange, I would like to share with you the experiences of District 3450. At the beginning of this Rotary year, we carried out a district-wide promotion on virtual exchange to our Rotary clubs, which was the important first steps. Our District Governor Norman encouraged club presidents to imagine Rotary exchange based on the visions of the Rotary Action Plan, that is, to increase our ability to adapt, to increase our impacts, and to expand our reach, and to enhance participant engagements. Now, the result was a cross-cultural virtual exchange program, which Rotarians, non-Rotarians, and Rotaractors can participate. Now, we recommend that the program content of virtual exchanges should be designed in a way that is relevant to the needs and interests of the young generations, and with particular emphasis on virtual vocational visits, which provide opportunity of online dialogue with top management from key industries and businesses of the partnering districts, with a view to expand the vocational horizon and career opportunity of participants. The other important step we took is to start virtual exchange was to set up advisory committees to assist Rotary clubs in finding suitable virtual exchange partners, and in the design of virtual exchange program contents, which gives lasting impacts to program participants. Now, friendship clubs and sister clubs are excellent virtual exchange partners. Now, this enriched virtual exchange partner has gained strong support in our districts, especially amongst Rotary clubs and Rotary clubs that have many young members. Now, some Rotary club presidents even call it the virtual vocational exchange. Now, they find this virtual exchange a very useful means to engage aspiring young individuals to joining Rotary meetings. At the moment, we are looking at delivering about 8 virtual exchanges with partnering clubs in Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and in the Philippines before the end of this Rotary year. Thank you.
Thank you. And Montse, could we please hear from you?
Well, first, I would like to tell you that it's a wonderful pleasure to be here connected to you from Spain. Thanks to new technology and COVID, we have been developing new ways of sharing and to do so without leaving home. That's how virtual exchanges were born. And so I would like to say a special hello to Governor-elect from District 4921 from Argentina, Jose Luis Marino, and his wife, Alexandra De Santis, because with him we started this whole experience. I also would like to say hello to all of my Spain and Portugal colleagues. And now I'm going to be a little bit more brief than Kenneth because he's really explained pretty much everything very well. I think that the Rotary Friendship Exchange Committee chair needs to first be able to make all clubs in the districts aware of the program, explaining the advantages that are presented through this program to the beneficiaries. And so in that way, all clubs will be able to identify what is most useful to them and how can they promote these exchanges. The second step would be, well, that the committee chair needs to motivate Rotarians to engage in these Rotary Friendship Exchange, always with 3 options, which are a cultural exchange with a service project attached, or a vocational interest, always at the service of people that will benefit from those contacts, that experience and knowledge, so that this project can be successful. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we heard from both of them the importance of advertising, of making sure that your participants are aware of these opportunities, and that it sounds like from both of you that your participants may be Rotarians, Rotaractors, or non-Rotarians and Rotaractors. So what a wonderful opportunity to be a part of these exchanges. And that actually leads to the second question that we have, which is how do virtual exchanges increase equity in participating in international exchanges and in Rotary? Montse, can we start with you?
Thank you. Well, I think I am truly convinced that it is very important to have these Rotary Friendship Exchange, in particular those that are multicultural. I think that these exchanges, especially virtually, allow for more openness. You are able to know projects and people from different cultures without leaving home. We can live 100% what is the exchange of ideas and experiences with low financial costs. It also allows a great diversity of Rotarians to participate without having to worry that they have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money, and that is, of course, always the risk of being in-person exchanges. That's why I think that virtual friendship exchange are the best way to open them up to the most people possible and to communicate the values of Rotary without excluding anyone. I had the great pleasure of starting an exchange program with Argentina, and I was able to invite a friend of mine that was not Rotarian, and she was part of this exchange. In fact, I invited her to be the leader of a team, one of the 3 teams that we formed for this exchange program. And I have to say that right now she is a member of my Rotary Club. I guess she liked the experience. I think that this is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. Kenneth, what would you like to add?
Yeah, thank you, John. Virtual exchanges can certainly increase equity in participation in Rotary exchanges and in Rotary in many ways. Now, to start with, the cost of implementing a virtual exchange program is substantially lower than the traditional Rotary exchanges. And since it is an exchange program between Rotary clubs, now virtual exchange can be very flexible, hassle-free. Therefore, it can be carried out in greater numbers and at higher frequencies, and can bring about positive impacts to more program participants. Therefore, virtual exchange program can benefit Rotary clubs regardless of their respective financial circumstances and priorities. Now, since virtual exchanges can build better understanding between Rotarians from different countries, as well as the understanding of the social challenges confronting the respective communities, all these are conducive to meaningful cooperations in global grants, which helps in tackling these social challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. Kenneth, we'll actually stay with you for the next question. How do you plan to continue incorporating virtual components into exchanges now that travel restrictions have lifted? Will you use these virtual exchanges in place of or in addition to in-person exchanges?
Yes. Virtual exchanges, as Montse mentioned, are flexible and less demanding on time and resources. I think it would be welcomed by our younger generations. So I hope it will be well supported in the post-pandemic new normals, when all travel restrictions will be lifted and global business activity return to normalcy. Now, I do not see virtual exchanges as a substitution for in-person exchanges. Rather, I do see the potential of it becoming effective precursors to more rewarding and fulfilling in-person exchanges that may follow. Virtual exchanges enable Rotarian better understanding on the culture, customs of the country that they might choose to visit, and staying with friends that they have already known virtually. Yes, with more virtual exchanges being implemented and its impact become more apparent, I am quite optimistic about virtual exchanges gaining momentum and popularities in the Rotary world going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And Montse, can you please round us out?
Well, I'm going to add the concept of the environment. We need to take care of the environment, and we need to understand the economic realities of the different areas of the world. We have to take good care of our planet. So we are going to have to organize virtual exchanges. In fact, we have to do more of them. And in fact, they should even be our first option. With that, we have to adjust to the needs and preferences of all participants. And if we end up having also in-person exchanges, then they will acquire even more of a value. They'll be even more emotional and more fulfilling because these people will already be friends and can then share the results of their experiences. Of course, we will support, and we love to support, and we love the in-person exchanges because people want to travel. But before you organize that travel, because of course that entails financial cost and a cost to the environment as well, I motivate everyone to organize first virtual exchanges so that we can have total 100% success with the in-person exchanges. Those will be the reward, rather. So the in-person Rotary Friendship Exchange, like I said before, will be the end reward for all of the other virtual exchanges, and they should always be added value.
Well, thank you both so much for sharing your expertise with all of us. I think you've really shown how important it is to create an accessible way that's an approachable and equitable way of participating with Rotary International. For more information about virtual friendship exchanges, please visit Rotary.org. Thank you both.
Thank you, John. Thank you.